Since Europe is full of fortified lines and bunker lines, as we exit Nisa, we run into parts of the Nysa Line that I wanted to have a look at because one of them looked really interesting. The Nysa Line was the system of German pre-World War II fortifications that were constructed in the late 1930s, facing Poland, as part of the broader defensive concept of Upper Silesia, particularly to guard the eastern approaches to Germany from Poland, obviously. It was centered around the town of Nysa, which is hence the name. This line was not that heavily fortified. It was not like the West Wall or East Wall, but it did play an important part in the eastern defensive strategy. We are at the Ottovski Lake, maybe. It is an artificially created reservoir. It was built from 28 to 33, and it was a retention reservoir for the hydroelectric power plant with the 4 turbines. The bunkers were built by the Reichsarbeitsdienst, and there was concrete bunkers here. There were small MG bunkers, Regelbauten, infantry shelters for small platoons, observation bunkers. Many of them were modeled on Regelbauten 10 and 23 standards, but there are some non-standard local variants, and we're going to have a look at one of those today. Several of the bunkers are still visible around the line up and down, but there's 3 of them here, so I was told, that I want to have a look at and show you. From 1944-45, some parts of this line was reinforced or reused as the Russians were coming closer and getting ready for the Vistula Oder offensive. But the defenses here were thin. Most of the bunkers served only delaying action by local Volkssturm or retreating Wehrmacht forces. The Second World War also came here, and the Nysa Stellung became something else. Today there's a modern dam and hydroelectrical plant here. Would not be a stretch to believe there was such a plant back at the time of the war. But this was an area that has been worth defending for many, many years. And as the Second World War rolled around here, well, once again, it was time for the defenses. So let's see what they actually did to defend this place. See something up here? Looming, surrounded by stone. But it is not an old Prussian bunker from the Prussian era. But this is very, very interesting. You will not have seen anything just like this before. Let me show you. Now the cement here should give you some indication. This is a beautifully and well camouflaged bunker. I guess this is camouflage. I'm gonna go for this being a camouflage option. It would almost be ridiculous to camouflage this just like they did in Norway with the bunkers and then think they would also wrap camouflage netting around it. Here you see what it is. It is a thick Panzerplatte. This is a World War II German bunker facing Polish territory down the river. Very, very elaborate built. This is beautiful. This is actually really a beautiful bunker. And the steel plate I can see from here, the Panzerplatte is not the model thin. So this probably was built in the mid-1930s. I mean, this really is one of the best looking bunkers I've ever seen. With the wrapping of stone and the little, I'm going to say ditch, but it's not really a ditch, is it? And significantly flooded it is. Well, that just blows on so many levels. But there's a room with a machine gun position. That's not really, it's fairly straightforward, but what an interesting design. And given some of the early bunkers, this hole, there was a hole here I've seen in these before that would just flood with water and crap if it wasn't drained. There'll be a plate over, and then the next staircase goes there. I can't tell you much more about these particular bunkers, as I don't really know any, except they were lightly manned by Luftwaffe engineers or Wehrmacht pioneer detachments, initially, or even border guard. But let's see, because this is not all there is in here. Following the river, roughly, as a drunken crow flies, about 300 plus meters should be the next one. And there's more after that. There's a road. Why is here a road, and why am I then walking? Never mind. I see a Panzerplatte and a firing position looking at me right here, with the river being right here. Alright, fine, it's not as pretty, but it looks like it's generally the same design. What is this? Why are there little square pieces of cement wrapping around the trees? What are these? They can't be ventilation. What is this all about? I'm confused. And crap on a stick. Yeah, this is well flooded here, Tino. Ah, Jesus, that was a big spider in my hair there. One big room in there and a drowned mouse. Okay, let's see if we can do something here. Does that help you in any way? Oh, jeez. Right out loud. Wow. Straightforward, simple little pillbox. Good 10 centimeters of steel. Just for a couple of guys in a machine gun. So what else is here? The tree encasements are intriguing, I have to say. Now I know before the Second World War, the Germans did build bunkers in clusters, small defensive areas facing the Poles, just like the Polish eventually, very rapidly, began to build fortified area sections, bunkers, facing the Germans. But here I only see those two, and then the third, which I don't think is a World War II pillbox, but it is still part of the Nysa Line. So we'll see. Now, in a generally flat, undulating landscape, here's a little hill. I don't know. I feel there's a little hill here for a reason, mainly because somebody placed a little hill here and a little crater there that could have been a machine gun position, trench. I'm not under the impression that what I'm looking for is right here, but it might just be a little hill. What's up? Oh, no. I see cement there. Hang on now. I also see brick. Why don't you come here and hide from me? What are you? You look Prussian. Okay, you look Prussian, but you also look World War II. This looks like a World War II German bunker that's been disguised as a Prussian bunker. Close firing point, defensive point there. Of course the thing is flooded, of course. Why wouldn't it be? And at first glance, this does not look Prussian at all. This looks like a disguised position on how to climb up on the walls here, up on the roof. So, small little bunker walls here. Oy, oy, oy. Close firing point that looks both Prussian and World War II. I'm confused. Emergency exit. We're not even inside the bunker yet. Okay, this is the bunker. It is a crew shelter with one room. This is World War II. Look at the steel beams in the roof. This is World War II. It's amazing with the Prussian bunkers that they were so elaborate ahead of their time that I sometimes still have to catch myself wondering if a bunker is from World War II or from before World War I. And fortunately, look what we have here. And here, oh, it's hard to read, but it's there. Sprachrohr was what that once said. MG Nisa. Here's the machine gun would be. Well, it'll be waiting here. There's cabling for communication to the trenches and the other bunkers. And Nisa as well. I could say Gewehr GV, GW, maybe Gewehr Nisa and MG Nisa. That would be the 42 or 34. Für so kleiner. Right? Für Gaste. Für Gaste kleiner. A lot of stuff here. This is very, very cool. So this was a little World War II position. This is where the emergency exit would come up. And now there's a tree on the roof now. No fire positions. Just a crew shelter. I guess it was disguised as a little house with a red brick. There's no other reason for them to be here. This is the strangest camouflage pattern of a small bunker fortified area I've ever seen the Germans do. There's lots of Prussian fortifications around here from back in the day, lots of red brick. So they build a pillbox and disguise it with red brick. And the other bunker disguised that with flat stones, like the Prussians would also use. Are we disguising a pre-World War II bunker position as an 1860s Prussian position? Or was there a different plan? I like it. Don't get me wrong, it's different. This is the lake. And it's very pretty, rather large. Here's the power plant. And over here is the forest with a small fortified area in this corner in here. And I still haven't found any explanation for why there's trees sitting in square concrete cylinders, except maybe they were planted there in order to protect them as part of the camouflage during the time of the bunkers being built. I'm not sure. I don't know. I will try to find out more for you. Hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel, liking, follows, and maybe even join me on Patreon to help out. I am just a guy, a historian, traveling around all these historic places in Europe on my own dime, trying to bring them to you.